This is Dr. Elizabeth Cantwell. She is now the 12th president of Washington State University after succeeding Kirk Scholes, who is retiring this year. She comes to WSU at what some might call a tipping point. The university is facing budget challenges and they are leading the pack in rebuilding the Pac-12. In her first TV interview since becoming president, I wanted to know who she is and how she will tackle the issues facing WSU. All right, Dr. Cantwell, thanks for sitting down with us.
Absolutely.
You are in your first full week as the 12th president of Washington State University. What are your first impressions?
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't, because one always does comparisons between this place and the other places you've been, that the people here are so willing to offer grace. The sense of the state is a willingness to offer grace as we start to work together. And I am enormously grateful and really keen to work with everybody.
You're coming from Utah State.
I am.
Another land grant institution. Tell us about your experience there and how your experience there and at other places have prepared you for this role.
If we create a system of higher education that serves working people, then the children of working people will be able to be better off than their parents were. Every land grant that I have been in carries that ethos forward, and you see it in our faculty, you see it in our cooperative extension offices, you see it in the research that we do, is that idea of service to the people in the state where we exist.
What drew you to this position, though?
The Washington State University brand, if you will, its reputation in the world is so unique and amazing. And if you travel, I mean, everybody's heard of Washington State University. I also think that this university is positioned in this very fraught moment that we have in higher education to just dig in, get the work done, and figure out how we will thrive over the next decade or two.
So tell us, what are some of the challenges you see for Washington State?
So we're going through massive kind of reset and shift, and at the same time as we in the state of Washington have fiscal challenges that will have to be met through some version of tightening the belt.
Just last week, there was the announcement of the non-essential pause on the non-essential hiring, salary increases, travel, a review of purchase contracts, and a reduction in spending. Based on what you've been reviewing in your transition team, tell us more about those decisions and why they were made.
So that kind of slowdown in sort of typical business expenditures is really almost textbook business 101 for when you're facing fiscal challenges. Those are things you can do to pause expenditures, slow down the outflow of money without affecting people.
In terms of enrollment, enrollment saw a spike in the end of the 2010s and then has seen some declines over the last 5 years. How do you plan to address that to bounce back?
It is my current belief that we can still increase enrollment, not in perpetuity. There was, I think, a belief at some point that we could just increase it forever and then we could ride on the backs of that. And we're not bringing as many high school graduates into higher education. The work world is such that you will need some retraining throughout almost your whole life. And our land grant obligation is that we provide at least some of that, that we serve lifelong learners.
Tell us more about your take on athletics and how we move forward to become, to stay relevant.
Well, if higher ed is changing now, college athletics is changing even faster. College athletics is as important as ever to those of us that have a long history in maintaining high quality college athletics at our institutions. And I think everybody in Washington should watch what happens to us in the next 2 to 3 years, because we are building on an amazing brand, an entirely new concept and idea.
What do you want to say to Coug fans
I want to
watching?
say just go Cougs. watch us grow. Let me just say, watch us grow. I am incredibly positive about where the Kook Nation can go.
Want to hear more? Watch the full interview right now on KREM 2 Plus. Download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch for free.